The quality of American cotton is very good, and the reason I say that is because we base our cotton varieties on technology. We use technology to crossbreed and enhance the fiber characteristics of the cotton. Length, strength, micronair, all the fiber characteristics. The days of crossbreeding, Mendel crossbreeding, the peas is history. That's ancient history. In today's world, in order to survive, you have to be more efficient. The way we maximize efficiency is by using technology to create superior seed. So the U.S. industry is leading the world in this, and based on fiber properties as well as our practices, our farming practices, we believe U.S. cotton is the most superior raw cotton in the world. Production in the United States has fluctuated. Generally, though, we've remained pretty steady over the past 10 years. Some years a little higher, some years a little lower, but generally our production is quite consistent. In terms of where the cotton is being grown, based on competitive commodity prices, the U.S. cotton has shifted a little bit further out of the West and in towards the center part of the United States around Texas. The state of Texas is now our largest cotton producing state. The second largest cotton producing state is Georgia on the East Coast. So if you looked at the production map in the United States, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, you would see a much larger production in the West Coast in California. Unfortunately, due to higher prices for grapes, nuts, vegetables, a lot of that production of cotton has been moved out of California and into other regions. Sustainability for the U.S. cotton industry, first, is critical. It's the only way we can survive. Sustainability means we're sustainable to the environment, so we're not going to damage it because we need the environment in order to produce crops in the future. It has to be sustainable for our customers, for the textile mills. We can't price ourselves out of the market, so we have to be able to find a price point that is sustainable for our customers. That means so that you can come back again to buy more U.S. cotton in the future. And then thirdly, it has to be sustainable for our producers because they have to make a profit as well. They have to feed their families. So everyone, it's a win-win-win combination between the buyer, the seller, and the environment in the middle. The sustainability initiatives taken by the U.S. cotton industry are varied. We do have lots of practices in place in order to manage and produce a sustainable cotton crop. Some of these include production practices such as no-till or low-till production in order to minimize soil erosion and water runoff. We use quite a bit of technology to look at our fields of cotton in order to measure various things that impact the production of the cotton, such as water. Is the field too dry? Is it too wet? There could be insect damage. Using satellite technology and GPS technology, we can, or even a drone, we can take a picture of our cotton fields and we can see where there are large insect infestations or where they are low, so that when we go into the field in order to apply the chemicals to manage that crop, whether it's they need fertilizer or pesticide or herbicide, maybe minerals, using the GPS maps, we can see where we need to apply those chemicals, and we apply them using GPS technology tied into the tractor only where they're needed, down to the about 1/3 of a meter. So that tractor, as it's going up and down the field, it will apply those chemicals only where they are needed. In the old days, we would spread it across the entire field. Those days are gone. We can't do that. It's bad for the environment. It's bad for the workers. It's bad for the bank account. It's wasteful. Cotton farmers, you know, they're business people just like anybody else, and buying expensive fertilizers or pesticide or herbicide, they don't want to spend any more money than they have to. So they're not just going to go spread it around without knowing how it's going to affect their crop. The challenges that the U.S. cotton industry is facing right now, it's not cotton from other countries, it's polyester. When you look at the global cotton trade, the United States is the largest global supplier of raw fiber to the global mills. We're the third largest producer behind China and India, but when you look at global exports, the U.S. is number one. So our challenge is not competitive cottons from other countries, but it's polyester and the synthetic fibers. When you look at global fiber consumption, cotton has a gradual increase. I think it's maybe 6% a year. But when you look at the consumption of synthetic fibers, the increase is by 15–20% per year. So you know, if you forecast this, you know, 10, 20, 30 years into the future, there's going to be a huge gap. We're going to see synthetic fibers up here and natural fibers, especially cotton, down here. That's our challenge. It's also not just a challenge for us as the cotton industry, it's a huge challenge for the environment. If you start Googling microbeads, polyester microbeads, we're finding that polyester is, yes, it has a low price, it can produce some great fabrics, but environmentally, we're starting to see some very negative ramifications that are being found in our food chain. Obviously, you know, look at the environment in terms of pollution. If you put a cotton shirt into the ground, 5–10 years later, it's gonna go back to Mother Nature where it came from. That polyester, it's going to be there for a long, long time. So we have to not think about today, but we have to think about tomorrow and how the use of natural fiber is critical to our future well-being, and not for us, but for our kids and our grandchildren and the future generations. Pakistan is a great market. You guys have so much going for you. You have beautiful, beautiful fabrics. You have a long tradition, a very rich tradition of the cotton textile industry, and there's so much potential. The U.S. cotton industry is very, very excited to have Pakistan as a partner of ours. Pakistan has been a loyal customer of U.S. cotton for a long time. Why would you buy foreign cotton? Because you have your own cotton, which is great for certain uses, but because you're such a big exporter of textiles to the global market, you have to be a net importer. Pakistan has to import cotton in order to meet the demand of the customers. So U.S. cotton is used for, I would have to say, contamination-free textile products that you're exporting to the global market, or certain higher quality products that have to be made with cotton that Pakistan does not produce. So we see Pakistan as a great partner. Also, CPAC. The Chinese have very high quality standards, and that's why U.S. cotton has been the #1 fiber supplied to the Chinese industry for years. As China and Pakistan are coming closer and closer together, I think we'll see greater market share for U.S. cotton being consumed by the mills in Pakistan in order to meet the quality requirements of the Chinese. They know they can't compete at the commodity level any longer. They're upping their game, and we're seeing the Chinese start to nominate U.S. cotton in their supply chain in order to provide those higher quality products. So Pakistan is a great market. It's going to be a great future market. We look forward to doing a lot more in Pakistan with your industry. We're very pleased to be your partner.